Hello, my name's Anthony Kessel. I'm a doctor, a public health physician, and also an author of children's books. And I want to talk a little bit from that World Mental Health Day about mental health problems, mental health challenges, psychological health challenges in children and young adults. And also to explore a new or newish approach to improving or supporting psychological well-being in that age group, and how literature can help children in their psychological well-being. So first of all, just as a doctor, it's becoming increasingly evident that there's rising mental health problems and challenges in children and young adults. We know that there are, both before the pandemic, during the pandemic, and now the ongoing situation, increase in attendances at general practices, attendances at casualty departments, outpatients, psychological health attendances. They're all on the increase in those age groups. And we also know, due to reports from the Royal College of Psychiatrists and the Royal College of Paediatrics and Child Health, that in the UK, but this applies for other countries at higher income and lower income across the globe, that there are rises in conditions such as anxiety, stress, eating disorders, phobias, social media problems, and so forth in children and young adults. So the problem is increasing, and one of the questions is, well, what else can we do to support improvement in this area? And I want to touch on a new or newish approach to supporting psychological well-being in children and adults. I say newish because it's been around for 30 or 40 years, both for treating individual clients or patients, in coaching programs, but increasingly as educational programs in the UK and other countries around the world to support mental health improvement in children. And this approach is something called the 3 principles, understanding of how the mind works. And it is an understanding, it's an educational initiative around how the mind works, and therefore how we experience life, day by day, moment by moment. And in brief, the principles are thought, consciousness, and mind. And the principle of thought speaks to the fact that we experience our feeling through our thought 100% of the time. In other words, it's not the external circumstances, it's not the bad weather or the science teacher one doesn't like that causes us to feel unhappy or sad or anxious. It's how we think about the bad weather or the science teacher. The principle of consciousness, or consciousness, is how we experience our awareness of life, how our feelings appear, if you like, real to us. It's the connection between your thought, your feelings, and how that seems real to you, the space that allows that to happen. But it's also, if you like, the window that enables you to see that awareness sometimes we all get about awareness that our thinking is creating our feeling, awareness that suddenly our mind is running away with us and we're feeling anxious, as an example. And the principle of mind is it's not about the brain, but it's about the intelligence behind all life, the energy, what makes living things alive. And it's something beyond our human understanding, but also what's responsible for all those extraordinary capabilities within all human beings, to love, to nurture, to empathize, to be creative, to be inspired. They all come from somewhere, and our own innate well-being, and the notion that no body and no thing can take that innate well-being away. And in educational initiatives that teach this understanding, children are able to become more aware that they don't need to be dependent on changing their external circumstances to improve their mental health and well-being, to trust themselves, and fosters hope and encouragement, which are so vital. And there's more about those particular initiatives in an article that I've written on my Medium site. That's A Kessel, all lowercase, AKESSEL on the platform Medium. You can find out more, including the websites of some of the charities that are informed by this understanding. And lastly, I just wanted to touch on how literature, children's books can play a part in supporting psychological health improvement. And when I mean psychological health improvement, I mean both preventing problems arising in the first place, but also supporting people who have existing problems. And I've written a book called The 5 Clues. It's the first in the 4-book Don't Doubt the Rainbow series, published by Crown House. It came out in August 2021. And within this book, it's a straightforward detective adventure book centered around a 13-year-old girl called Edie Marble. But within the book, I introduced the idea of the 3 principles understanding. And it's something that Edie learned through her mum. And this approach or this understanding helps her in different ways through the book. It helps her solve the clues that unravel the mystery around her mother's death. I don't want to spoil too much in the book, but it also helps Edie navigate the anxiety and stress that's going on in her life, and also helps her in coping or managing, coming to terms with, in her case, the loss of her mother. But it applies really to all challenges that we all face in life. Nobody escapes life's challenges, children and adults, and she finds help in this understanding of how the mind works. So I hope this is helpful on this vitally important World Mental Health Day. Thank you.